Good, everyone. It's me, Dom, and I just want to be talking about how I'm dealing with loneliness and isolation. You know, you don't have to do this. Like, I'm kind of like forcefully doing it because I can always be the one to reach out to people, but I think I just find it more growing whenever you attack it, whenever you attack what you're going through. Go to it. Don't run away from it. Don't avoid it. You know, the easiest things might be able to avoid it, but deep down and internally, I think things will always rise to the surface eventually. You know, I did try to do this at the very beginning of this season, but it always seemed to come out around people, you know, and that's like negative energy. You know, I'm not trying to give that to others, because man, energy is a real thing, and your energy will spread towards other ones, and people will naturally just not really want to be around you. And you might be thinking, you could talk about it, yeah, sure, but whenever it's like always just on you, because you're always carrying it, this negative energy, I think others will feel that. And you just gotta learn, you gotta step back, look at it, and think, like, why is it eating me alive, you know? And I've always been the one to like always reach out to people, and that may be you too. You might be the one to always give your energy to others and just try to set up plans, you know. And it's just like, don't be selfish, you know. You can take back your energy, and you know, because now I'm trying to emphasize, like, I want people to reach out to me more. I want people to want to hang out with me more. I want people to give more effort into me. And there's really nothing wrong with that. But that's why you just got to have a fulfilling and complete life by yourself on your own. People are not always going to be around you, you know? You got to be okay with doing things, like getting your stuff done and everything, having your routine. And like, I never had that because I was just so busy, you know. I still am, and now I'm finding I have so much time, even though it's not a lot of time. But man, those couple hours you have with yourself on like a Saturday or middle of the week, it's a lot. That compounds, that it's strong, and enough of that will eat anyone alive, you know. We are human. We should be social. We need to be social. If you're not practicing something, if you're not practicing being social, you're gonna lose it, you know. And that goes with anything. If you're not practicing doing layups, running, you know, weight training, you're gonna lose it. You know, you always gotta keep that repetition of what you're doing just a little bit, just so you don't lose it. And I went into like this little, it wasn't like completely, because it was just like a lot of like phases and everything, you know. And that's how I'm kind of like dealing with it. And now I found this recording, you know, talking, and that's truly like helping me, because I know there's a lot of men out there, like even worse situations than me, where they're really going through it. You know, they literally don't know, like they literally are so blocked off. Like, I feel like whenever you just look at a man, you can kind of see, kind of like get a grasp or judgment of like, not what he's made of, but just like how he's feeling internally. And the hardest ones too are the ones who be smiling the hardest, be laughing the most, be just playful, and be you don't notice anything wrong about them. And then what happens the next day? They take their freaking life. And you're just like, I had no idea. And it's just like, why do men, like, they struggle so deeply internally, and they just hide it perfectly, you know. I'm all about mental health and everything, mental health awareness and everything, but it's just like, how do you even know? Men are just not gonna step out and just be vulnerable like that. And I think that's the one special thing with me is I'm able to talk freely about this, but I'm also able, like, I'm growing, like I have naturally a growth mindset. And it's just like, man, you don't need to be completely vulnerable and naked to everyone, but you should still be able to be like transparent and just be able to talk freely. And if someone judges you for that, you should be like, okay, man, get away from me. Like, you know, have that boundary, have that standard. Be like, if you ain't messing with me, if you ain't trying to actually hear me out and be there for me, then I don't need you in my life. Have that strength to do that, but not be able to completely just shut people out just because you're scared of like talking about your emotions and stuff. And like, that's now what we're shifting into this new generation. And it's either like two directions. Men are becoming either like too weak, where they do show way too much emotion, where they do cry a lot, where they do, you know, do too much. Too much of anything is always bad, of course. Or it's just like they're completely shut off and they just don't want to like say anything. Like they're closed off, they stonewall, they do all of that. And it's just like, there's got to be a balance with everything. And kind of what's made me like this, I don't want to blame it on that. And more of this error really is like single moms raising children. That fatherly figure who wasn't there to like show them that strength, show them that backbone, show them that they can be strong on their own, show them, you know. And that's kind of like what's becoming the norm now in today's society. And it truly sucks. And this is gonna like change everything, I feel like, in the future with how more families are raised, you know. You see people creating families like later on, like late 30s and stuff. And honestly, I think that's fine, because it's just, you should want to, because more education means like a better society, you know, wealthier, well, you know, better environments and everything. You know, there's still always going to be those things, but the more you delay things, the more you run out of time, and the more lonelier and men just step out, just give up on just like the whole family thing. And I hope society like turns that around, but I don't know, like there's so much things that can contribute to this. But back to what I was saying about the, like, man, I was raised by like me, like my siblings and everything. Like we all I think that's special about us is like we all had like our own story. And like my age gap from them is just so far away from them. It's just, I had like a completely different story than them. They're all like raised around the same things. And me, like, my dad was there, but like he was like kind of like in and out, especially. And it's just like, but still I kind of got like a little bit of support, but not when I really needed it. But I think that's okay, because it shaped me to who I am right now. You know, a mom is naturally feminine. She's not going to be able to provide that masculine energy to a son, to a boy who really needs it. And that's something I really struggled with like early on. Is I feel like I was too emotional, I was too reactive, I did react out of emotion, and I still kind of am. And then I'm just trying to grow out of it, but more balance it out, be more secure with myself and everything. And going through this right now, I can finally look on and reflect, you know. And that's just the one thing like I'm trying to learn and just figure out, just like my own sort of masculinity, you know. I have my own special sort of masculinity. Like, you don't need to be carrying around like a big gun, or like have a motorcycle or a leather jacket or the super nice muscle car, me anyways, but, or a truck or anything. Like, you don't need that. Like, that's not makes a man, you know. At least to me, like, I think what makes a man is like being able to just do the things that are hard and just keep going, picking himself up, getting his like hands dirty, you know, having responsibilities, loving himself, loving other people, you know, taking care of things that just are important, just like standard basic things of that nature. Like, just because you don't know how to be handy or do your own oil change, like, really, like, anyone can do that. Like, all you need to do is just learn, like, legit. But like some of those masculine traits that are just internally like instinctual, you know, and even if they're not instinctual, they can just come to you whenever, you know. And like standing up straight, like being more confident and looking up, not looking down when you're walking. Like, that's one thing I've tried to fix on too. I never knew I did that subconsciously until someone pointed it out. And it's just those things, you know, people see about you, especially with women as well. And the thing about that, like, the right type of woman, like, especially if you need reassurance too, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but it's just too much of anything is always bad. So if you always are constantly asking for that reassurance and that neediness, it's going to turn anyone off, right? So this is why you got to do a lot of work on yourself when you're in loneliness and isolation, so you don't do that again. Especially if you just had another, like, a failed relationship or whatever. Like, you truly got to reflect instead of just going towards vices, instead of just partying, instead of just, you know, drinking, you know, doing all these bad things, and instead of the work. Because if you don't do the work, your next relationship is going to fail like that again, you know. I talk about, like, literally, women do have like a sixth sense. They internally, they want to feel your strength. Like, they could care less about your looks. Like, you could be a legit 6 to them and they'll still be with you. It's absolutely insane how I think about, like they'll literally, like, they don't even need to like you that much, and they can just be with you just because of for what you provide. And that's just not right, you know. And the guy might be, she really loves me, she really cares, but in reality, he's just taking care of her. And then she'll go ahead and cheat on him like that. Like, bro, are you serious? Like, nah. I think that's absolutely insane. Like, but with a man, like, it's all physical for the most part. You know, like, he has to actually, like, be attracted to her and then feel like a deeper connection too, to actually, like, really like her. Like, those two traits together will make him like her. And it's just, we, like, as guys, I think we need to start looking at other things, especially when you're actually trying to take it seriously. But if not, it doesn't matter. But, like, if you're not, then why would it matter to you? But if you really are, and you got to take things slow as well. You got to take things super slow. Like, you'll find that when you take things more slow and be patient and let things ride out, it's a lot better. It's a lot calmer, especially when you're used to chaos, especially when you're used to toxicity. Like, this is not only good for your mental, but it's just good overall for her and everything. It just makes everything better. You know, this is, like, kind of drifting away from, like, loneliness and isolation, but it's just like women will naturally tend to have more options than men, right? But just because those options are a lot more doesn't mean they're quality, you know. And if that's, like, what a guy, if, like, you're in a situation and you're, like, dating or whatever, and that's what you're worried about, you just, like, don't worry about it. Like, it's out of your control, and you just got to be the best version of yourself, and you're fine to know that she'll be the one to follow you. Like just like how how Eve was, like, a rib, like a piece of Adam. Like, that's literally how it was. Like, she followed him, she served him, she cooperated with him, you know. He didn't name her, like, he named all the other animals on earth, and that was, like, his purpose. And he named, and he didn't name her. She came along and just, like, was, like, beside him. She wasn't no animal, you know. We're like equal in a way, you know. I think we are equal, but we're not equal in the same way. Like, men literally are naturally stronger, like, naturally, like, all these genetic features are just better, but we're still all human at the end of the day. And I think that's what we just need to realize, what it is. And if the woman, like, literally, if she can't, like, see, like, you're trying to be transparent or whatever, and you're saying what you need or you're saying what you want out of the relationship, then she's just not for you, you know. Because the right one will not make you, like, beg. The right one will not make you go crazy or anything. The right one will be more understanding. Like, there's people actually out there, and you just got to find that peacefulness and calmness is better than just that chaos, is better than just that overthinking. And women might need that. A toxic woman might need that because that's what she's used to. But there's so much people in this world. It's just like, why would you even want to deal with that? you know? You just gotta have that mindset, okay, like this, and if you need to wait as long as possible, then you gotta wait as long as possible, you know? Because it's real, bruh, I promise. And don't just jump on the next ship just because someone likes you, you know? Like, literally, this is why you gotta do the work on yourself and just, like, work on your body, work on your mind, and you will just get what you want, you know? Guys over the internet say, like, you know, like a lot of, like, alpha-less type of things. Yeah, I think from a primal aspect and attraction base, when you do have that physique and everything, it's gonna naturally attract more people, more women, but it's also gonna put you not in like a neediness state, like a dog hungry state where you just, oh, I need her, or she looks at her, or whatever. It's gonna put you in that state of just like, man, I look good, I feel good. If I wanted to do this or approach or whatever, and it'll just, you can do that. And that's what, it's just a lot of internal struggles with it, I think men need to face and deal with, than just the external things, you know, like the cool car, like the flashy clothes and stuff. Like, she's gonna see through all of that, bruh. I promise. That first or second date, she gonna ghost on the third, like, legit. They have a sixth sense, I promise. Like, they could feel this, man. They don't call it women's intuition for no reason. Like, those traits internally that she feels in you, she's gonna figure out, and she's gonna test, and she's gonna see if she can pick at it. She's gonna see if she can get you reactive out of it. And once you start feeling that, you're done. You're out of the lineup. You're out of the roster. You know, you didn't make her a part of the roster. You're out of the roster. You know. And like, literally, they're cutthroat nowadays. I'm not gonna lie, they're cutthroat, and it's just, can you blame them? They have an abundance mindset where they just like, man, I got all these things going on. This is just completely shifted away from the video, but it's still good stuff to think about, and to just, especially if you're a man. For real. Like, I'm not saying we all need to be like women, but realize whenever you see them, like, they're all dancing, they're all having their fun. Like, why can't men just be like that? Like, why can't men just enjoy themselves and just be there for the moment, and just, you know, instead of just always thinking they gotta gain something. I feel like that's, like, men are hunters, men are gatherers, men are primal, but you don't always need to gain something. The less you do, the more you get. Like, you don't gotta have her. Like, bro, if she ain't interested. Like, there's literally nothing you can do to, like, make her like you, you know? Like, if she has a little bit of interest and finds you attractive, yeah, you can start some work from there, you know, have game and just be confident and show her that you're like that. But if there is, like, nothing, like, she kind of feels, then there's really, like, nothing you can do, for real. I'm not gonna lie to you. And you just gotta go on to the next one. Just be thinking, okay, that one didn't like me, okay, next one. You know, don't put all your eggs in one basket. And if she do like you, you know, reciprocate energy. See how she's feeling. Don't move faster than her. Don't move way too slow, because if she has higher interest in you, then that's gonna turn her off too. But it's just balance. But the thing is, slower is actually better with them as well. You know, especially if you're a lot older and you've already been through a couple relationships or whatever, and she has too. You know, you already got learned experiences and everything. Loneliness and isolation. It's just, that's just what it is. I think at a certain point, a lot of men will face it. But some men don't. Like, you think LeBron James ever faced it? I mean, maybe. I mean, probably when he was a lot younger. You know, I know he didn't really have his father in his life and everything, but and that's probably when he faced it, you know. And like, it really shapes you. And during that time, you should take a lot of time to really reflect and really think about what you want in your life, and really see what's actually important instead of just distractions. Because I always say, your time is limited. There's only so much time you have, and these days is clapping. like bruh, for real, I promise you, man. I try to ask God to slow down time, like chill, but he don't want to. He don't want it. He don't want time to slow down. It's just, man, it's insane.